Hello and welcome everyone to VET 237 Animal Nutrition. This is a very quick overview of some expectations for the course, as well as some details for your first assignment and project, along with what to expect and why nutrition is so important. We know it is, but do we really know why it is? So we're going to get into that. Have you ever been choosing a food for your pet or feeding your cat or dog or other species and or horse feed and thought, what's in that? Well, in this course, we're going to dissect all that. We're going to be able to tell what's good, what's bad, fact versus fiction. Because we understand that nutrition is crucial in veterinary medicine as it directly influences an animal's health, their growth, and disease prevention. Because proper nutrition will enhance the quality of life and minimize healthcare costs, that's trips to the vet, along with preventing nutrition related diseases. Okay. So our animals don't live long enough as it is, right? Our furry friends, our furry family members, they already don't live long enough. So can we have optimal nutrition to increase the longevity of their life? That's the goal, right? We would hope. Now, for this course, you do have a textbook. This one. Okay. With this textbook, we will be starting at chapter 8. You may hear me reference in the lecture chapter 1 is chapter 8. I do believe that starts on page 55. So make sure that you have this textbook in order to follow along with the course. And it's in the bookstore. If not, let me know and we'll get a copy. All right, so this course is going to cover the principles of nutrition and their application to feeding practices of domestic, farm animal, and companion animals. We're going to cover all of them. It's also going to have some topics that will include basic nutrients and nutritional needs of individual species, their proximate analysis. We're going to be doing some math and the interpretation of food and feed labels. What's in it? What's on it? There's also going to be types of animal foods and ration formulation. We're also going to dive into a little bit of the organizations as well as some marketing aspects. Now, the first few lectures of the class are going to be kind of mixed with a little bit of A&P and energy needs and such. So you may need your A&P book for the start of this class. Now, let's talk about some key things that we're going to be able to look at. For this course, we're going to talk about metabolism because it's a supply of energy for life. We're going to dive in, think back to those cells, and we're going to look at the cellular organelles and organ function. We're going to bring out the mitochondria. We're going to bring out that ATP and put it all together. We look at overall health of our animals. We look at the welfare. Again, we're all about longevity, okay? And we can directly impact that with proper nutrients, supplementation, and so on. We're also going to dive into a little bit of the research because did you know that actually pet nutrition didn't start kicking off and dive into more research until the 60s? Yeah, that's when Science Diet was like, maybe we should care. Maybe we should actually look into this. And it has since then exploded. We're also going to look at disease prevention and maintenance and how that relates with the nutritional aspects. We'll look at life stages from neonate to being birthed to a pregnant animal to then normal, say 1 year, senior, etc. We're also going to look at exercise, how that impacts, and we'll talk about even my friend, Dr. Sarah Phipps, is a veterinarian and she participates in the Iditarod race in Alaska every year. And we're going to talk about some of the animals' nutrition needs that the sled dogs have and how maybe they're different from, say, Floyd sleeping on the couch, right? We'll also talk about conditions such as dental health, dermatitis, allergies, and diabetes. Okay. The skin, the integumentary system, is the largest system, but it is the number one allergy organ, say, for our pets. Okay. And like our allergy organ as a human is like our respiratory system. That's why we always get like colds and snuffles when the seasons change. Well, our animals, our dogs and cats in particular, their allergy organ is that integumentary system. And we can see through research and studies that the allergies can possibly be, yes, environmental, but also they could be nutritional. Let's say they're allergic to or have an allergy towards a particular protein, maybe chicken. So maybe we can adjust the diet and maybe those allergies will go away. Now, not always. There may be some additional things, also environmental. Flea and tick prevention is essential. Um, but we're going to dive into allergy issues based off of nutritional needs as well. Okay, keep in mind, nutrition is not black and white. Every dog, every cat, every horse, every cow, kind of, but they're all different. Okay, so we have to make sure that for our domestic animals, that one need might be different from another need. There may be some breed specific things too. Every person is different. So we're walking with an open mind in this class. So, yes, you may start this class feeding a certain diet and then end with a different. But keep in mind that in the veterinary practice, we may recommend a certain food, but maybe that client can't afford that. Or maybe that's just not easy for them. So, as I've said before, we don't get paid to judge, we get paid to inform and educate. Okay. Every wallet is different, right? So pet food is expensive. And especially if you have, or maybe that client has a lot of pets, that's definitely going to add up. If we have a pet that has been diagnosed with, say, a urinary condition, we might recommend a urinary diet. However, those can be really expensive, especially if they're buying in the hospital, okay, in your hospital. So we need to make sure that we've got knowledge of some other options that are not just within our hospital, because it can add up. Okay. There are many opinions out there about nutrition. If you were to YouTube what to feed my dog, you would get a lot of information. We're going to find out fact versus fiction within this course. And I will provide you with a basic knowledge of nutrition to properly educate. So, again, there's a lot of opinions, there's a lot of information out there. We are sticking with the facts with this course that correlate with the textbook, as well as proper research, articles, videos, so on and so forth. So, just keep that in mind. Okay, we're going to be able to tell what the difference between kibbles and bits is and what's in it, and the differences between maybe something like wellness and grain-free. What's that all about? Is that necessary? Does that cause any issues? We're also going to talk about specific brands, okay? We're not going to get too far into brands, but we're going to talk about brands that have maybe lower quality of essential nutrients like proteins and carbohydrates and fats. And then we'll talk about your premium diets, like the one we had before, which is wellness, is an example. And then we'll talk about science diet as well, and get into maybe some Purina things as well. I am not saying that one brand is better than the other. We will look at the overall quality of the nutrients and go from there. But have you ever thought, which pet food should I get? Well, again, everything is different. And why we don't get paid to judge is, for example, I've known a veterinarian that kind of specialized in animal nutrition, and they fed one of their dogs the moist and meaty all the time. But the dog did great. Is your dog happy? Is it healthy? Does it have any issues? Everything in, coming out, good. You have to look at those specifics. But there is research that we can dive into to figure out what is best for our patients. Okay, you have the pleasure of doing a veterinary case study. Okay, this is due at the end, so we have plenty of time to work through this together. There will also be multiple checkpoints that will go through this. I've been doing this project for several years now, and at the end, there's a lot of benefit for it. Okay, and a lot of students have said that they learned a lot through doing this project, and it also helped them. So let's kind of talk about it. You'll also find this at the top of your Moodle for you to go back and look on, but let's talk about it together. So you are able to do this project with one other person. or you can do it solo. That's perfectly fine. But each group will create a nutritional profile for a client. You are acting as a nutritional vet tech guide. You and your partner will create a patient, and I would love if you're able to provide like a really cute picture. And you're going to take that patient through various life stages while adjusting their nutritional needs. Now, I have a chart, and on the Word document, you'll be able to follow through that. But you're going to encounter several unplanned incidences, dun 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 dun, with your patient. You'll see on your Word document, and you'll have to navigate how to avoid your patient or how to aid your patient, not avoid them. You have to. You're the vet tech, and apply nutritional aid through their recovery. Even though this project is online, I'm happy to schedule a meeting to discuss any plans as we go through the semester. We'll have those check-ins, and I'll see how you're doing. But just keep in mind, we can email or we can meet via Teams if you need additional support and you want to talk through things and you have any questions. The whole point of this is to learn, apply it, and do it. It's geared slightly to small animal, feline, and canine patients, as that's what we will mostly encounter within the practice. However, you and your partner may choose a common pocket pet, which you will need to email me directly to let me know that you're going to do that. Or if you'd like to do equine or bovine, we can definitely do that. Please do not feel that this choice would limit you, as you would be encouraged, since we can see and treat various patient types. So, yes, it's going to be a little more dog and cat forward. However, we can do pocket pet and we can do equine and bovine if you would like. You just need to email me so that I can give you more specifics based on the incidences that will then occur. Additional details. You may work with one partner. You got to give me a picture. It's got to be cute. You'll also need to provide pictures and illustrations when able regarding your information. So for example, when you're providing information about a life stage and that food, you'll have to properly research a food and what's out there. Also supplements, treats, anything like that. You'll have to provide that. And I'll show you too on your Word document, there'll be templates that you can use, but feel free to use different. I'm also going to provide you with some examples so that you can see what previous students have done. And some students even created their own dog food because they didn't like what was out there and wanted to make some adjustments. So I'll show you all those as well. For your first assignment, though, you do have to do and complete your syllabus quiz. That's a census thing. You have to do that. And you have to get a 100, and you have to complete it in the proper time frame for that 10%. Also, make sure to check your syllabus and see that this course is a 200 level course, so your grading scale is going to be a little bit different for you first years, okay? But it doesn't matter because you're gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. So for your first assignment is we're gonna have a discussion question, okay? I normally don't do discussion questions, but we're going to do one because I think that this question is important, okay? So why do you think that proper nutrition is important for maintaining the health and well-being of animals? Pretty vague question, pretty open question, because it is. Don't put more than that. Additionally, how do marketing and advertisements for pet foods influence our perception of what is best for animals, and how can we differentiate between factual information and misleading claims? Now, I know you're walking into this discussion question with no additional details about the class. So just kind of think about it, okay? Give me I don't care if it's in a sentence form. You can make it bullet point, make it professional. I don't care if you make it bullet point. That's perfectly fine. But why do you think, like, how, especially with social media and the increase of people making videos and all that, how do you think that contributes to the nutrition aspect of animals and how that plays a part in what we deal with as a veterinary technician? Okay. All right. I'm so excited for you to be here. Thank you so much for taking this course. I think you're really, really going to enjoy it.